Hey there, fellow nature wanderers. If you're like me, you love spending time outdoors, breathing in that fresh air and connecting with the natural world. But at home, have you ever thought about what's in the products you use every single day? That's why I'm excited to share Apple Valley Natural Soap with you. Their handcrafted all-natural soaps are made with organic ingredients, essential oils, and no harsh chemicals. Awesome! So they're not only great for your skin, but they're safe for the planet. And they don't just stop at soap. Apple Valley Natural Soap also carries a full line of natural skincare products, including shampoos, body butters, facial bars, and more. All designed to nourish your skin without synthetic ingredients. You can't beat that. That's just awesome. Whether you're hiking in the woods or just winding down after a long day, their products bring a little bit of nature right into your home. And the best part? By supporting Apple Valley Natural Soap through The Nature Wanderer, you're also supporting this podcast. Just head to the show notes and click on the link for Apple Valley Natural Soap. So go ahead, treat yourself and the environment to something better. Your skin and Mother Nature will thank you. Now let's get on with our adventure. Hello friends, welcome to the Nature Wanderer podcast, the podcast where we slow down, step outside, and take in the beauty of the natural world one adventure at a time. I'm Paul, and today I've got something a little bit different for you. Yeah, what we're going to do today is we are going to learn about how nature calls. And I don't mean using the restroom. No, that's not the type of nature calls I'm talking about. I'm talking about nature actually making noise. And I'm going to do it in a different way, something a little bit more fun today, a little trivia. So you're going to have to test your skills. I'm going to be playing some different sounds, and I want you to see if you can figure out who or what is making the sound that I am going to play for you. So grab your walking stick or maybe just a comfy chair by the window, and today we're going to explore the nature around us through the sounds. Okay, friends, we're going to do something a little bit different today. We are actually going to explore nature by testing you. Yeah, I love doing trivia. Every once in a while, my wife and I will go to local pub, restaurant, and we will do a trivia night. And we're sometimes, depending on the topics, we always look forward to the nature topics because I can usually get those right. But they do everything from sports to, stuff I don't know a lot about. But we do all right. We hold our own. It's rare that we come in last place. And I thought, hey, that might be a little fun for my listeners here. You, yeah. So maybe you enjoy some trivia. And so today I have some trivia for you. I'm going to be playing some different sounds throughout the podcast, and I want you to see if you can tell me who is making that sound. So, nature calls. And here's the first sound. It might be familiar to a lot of people. Did you guess it? Happens every spring, especially when it warms up in the northeastern U.S. anyhow. And things get a little bit warm, and you start hearing this guy calling, or screaming, I should say. Yeah, they are so loud. Yeah, that guy there, did you guess it? It's the spring peeper. Tiny little guy, about the size of my thumb with a big X on his back. They're a tree frog. They're a type of tree frog, and they make a lot of noise in the springtime. Okay, let's see if you can guess this one. Okay, I'm starting out with some easy ones at first. That's just a thunderstorm. Nothing like a good thunderstorm, rainstorm. Yeah, I always love listening, sitting out on my back patio in a protected area, of course, making sure I don't get struck by any lightning. But I always love listening to the rain and the thunder. Okay, well, hopefully you got that one right. Like I said, I'm going to have some easy ones in here. They're not all going to be just sounds of animals. Some things will just be sounds of the wilderness. Now, animals use sounds for a lot of different reasons. Sometimes they're just for communication. Other times the sound or the call is for, well, sometimes mating. Sometimes warnings. So a lot of different reasons that animals use their calls. Maybe you can get this one here. Another one I hear in the spring a lot. This one here is a mating call. Sounds like a cricket that doesn't know when to quit. Okay, it's not a cricket. So, did you guess that one? That is actually the American toad. Yeah, the American toad, that is their mating call in the springtime. The loudest male usually gets the females to answer back. Okay, let's see if you can get this one. Another springtime mating call. Another type of frog, I'll give you that hint. Okay, did you guess that one? That is actually the gray tree frog. Okay, sticking to the frog theme, I'll give you a couple more frogs here. Yeah, I'm kind of giving it away with the frogs, but let's see if you know this type of frog. Another mating call. Juggarum, juggarum. There's a chorus of them. How'd you do on that one? Did you guess that one? It's a bullfrog. Yeah, the American bullfrog. Okay, let's do, I think we'll do one more, well, maybe two more frogs. Yeah, I love frogs. They have such interesting sounds that they make. Now, let's try this one here. Another mating call. I always tell people this guy kind of sounds like he's plucking rubber bands. Any guesses? No, you don't have that one? Well, yeah, I'm sure you probably got that one. That is the green frog. Okay, last frog. Give you a couple of hints while we do this one here. Usually found in the woods, in the leaf litter in the woods. Usually in moist woods. This guy wears a mask, black mask over his eyes. Okay, this guy is a wood frog. Okay, let's get away from the frogs here. Can you guess this one? Sounds a little scary to me. Any clue who that was? This guy also wears a mask, kind of like the wood frog does. So he's got that black stripe going through his eyes. He also has a striped tail. Yeah, that's the raccoon. I've heard these guys in the woods before at nighttime doing that call, almost like a scream. It's a little eerie, a little creepy. Okay, the next one here. This might be familiar to some people. It's kind of a mix between a howl and a yipping noise. So a lot of people when they hear that, they think, oh, it's a wolf. No, it's not the wolf. Wolves do more of a howl. These guys have more of a yipping, more of a dog yipping noise. It is a canine. He's in the canine family. Smaller than a wolf. Did you guess it? This is the eastern coyote. So the eastern coyote is the guy who does that yipping noise. How about this guy? Ooh, that was scary. I'm going to play it again because it's a short one. I remember many years ago, I lived in a friend's cabin for a summer, and we used to keep the windows open at nighttime. You let the nice fresh air come in, and you would hear every once in a while that in the woods. The first time I heard it, I almost called the police. I thought there was a child in the woods screaming. You know, I'm like, a young child screaming. No, it wasn't a young child. Any guesses? If you guessed the red fox, you are correct. Yeah, that's the red fox. So let's see if you can guess this one. It's a really short one. This is the call. You usually hear them in the woods, so I'll play it a few times. Almost sounds like a cat's cry. Yeah, I kind of let you know it is in the feline family. This guy's in the feline or the cat family. Very short, stubby tail. They've got these really long ears. Any guesses? That's actually a bobcat. Yeah, that's a bobcat. And if you live in Western New York, yes, we do have bobcats. Now, this next one I just heard the other day. Matter of fact, I was going for a walk, and I was walking up a stone driveway, or stone trail, I should say, in a local park. And this guy was kind of walking away from me doing this call. Do it one more time for you. What do you think? Think you got it? That's actually a killdeer. Killdeer is an interesting little bird. They actually nest in rocky areas, so you usually find them in like stone driveways because their eggs actually look like stones. So they just hollow out a little crevice in the stones, they lay their eggs in there, and that way it hides the eggs from predators. If a predator gets near, the killdeer will actually make that call, and they kind of hobble away, dragging a wing, making it look like they're injured. What they're doing is they're drawing the predator away from their eggs, their nest. And if the predator gets too close to them, what do? Well, they fly away. I mean, it was just a fake injury. Their wing wasn't really broken. So it's kind of interesting how these birds protect their eggs. And the next one of my favorites, I'll give it away. One of my favorite birds. Okay, so this is another bird. If you haven't noticed, I'm kind of keeping it in groups here. It makes it a little bit easier for you. So this is one of my favorite birds. I love hearing these guys. They have such a melodic call. And here he goes. I always like to say it almost sounds like he didn't know what to say, so he just took a bunch of notes and just scrambled them all together. Field species. These guys nest on the ground. So if you have a large open field, you'll probably hear these guys or see them flying over that field. Any ideas? No, you don't know this guy. That is actually the bobolink. Yeah, black and white. Flying skunks, people call them. They've got mostly black on their body, but they've got white on the back and on the wings. And they have this yellowish white patch on the back of the head. The females, they look a lot different. Yeah, they're mostly brown in color, very dull, because they want to blend into the ground, their nests. But the male's very colorful. Yeah, with the black and white. I know, black and white's not colorful, but beautiful birds. Okay, let's go on to the next one. This is very familiar to a lot of people. I'm sure you've heard it in your backyard, another bird. Did you guess that guy? Okay, it doesn't usually hang around our bird feeders. Well, depending on what you're feeding at your bird feeders. This guy is mostly on the ground looking for food. They love eating worms, insects. If you have an apple tree, they'll be up in the apple tree pecking at the apples. They're not eating the apple. This is, do you know? Hopefully you said the American robin. Yeah, that is the robin. So, robin redbreast. Now this next one, most people know this call. Oh, there's more than one. That means we got to call it a murder. Any ideas? It's actually a murder of crows. Yeah, when you get more than one, you call it a murder of crows. So that's the American crow. This one might trick you on this one. Sounds very familiar, or similar, I should say. Sounds very similar to a crow, but it isn't. It's in the same family, the corvid family. Almost sounds like that crow. Little more guttural. Love these guys. Beautiful birds. That is, you got it. That's the raven. Yes, the common raven. Okay, here's another one. This is Eastern U.S. bird. Very intelligent bird. This guy here, I'm sure you've heard that sound before. He actually gets his name partly because of his color. If you didn't guess blue jay, you really need to get to know your birds better. Yeah, that's a very common bird around here. So that's the blue jay. Now, this one might be a little more difficult. A lot of people have heard this, but they don't realize what they're hearing. So listen close. It's not a warbler. Okay. This one here, I actually heard someone call it a yellowfinch once, but it's not. It's a goldfinch, if you didn't get it. They call it the American goldfinch. Okay, this one really fools a lot of people, so listen closely to it. I don't know how many times I've had people tell me that they had one of these in their yard, and they didn't have the right bird. They knew the call, they've heard it before, but they didn't know the right bird. Here it is. If you said an owl, shame on you. That is not an owl. That was the mourning dove, mourning. They actually get their name because of that call that they make. It sounds like they are in mourning for the loss of a loved one. So that's where the name mourning dove comes from. Not mourning as early in the morning, even though that's when we usually hear them. Very noisy birds when they take off, too. I wish I had a recording of their taking off from the ground. Their wings make such a ruckus. Okay, I've got another one here for you. This one should be fairly easy. No, that's not the mourning dove. That's actually, did you guess it? It is an owl. That's the great horned owl. Hoo 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 hoo. Yeah, the great horned owl, the typical hooting that we associate with owls. Now this one's a little bit different. Who cooks for you? Who cooks for you? Oh. So that was two of them. There was one in the background who was answering back. Are you familiar with your owls? That's what we call, some people call it, it's nicknamed the Who Cooks For You owl. That is actually the barred owl. B-A-R-R-E-D, the barred owl. Okay, let's go with this little guy. Oh, there's a hint right there. Yeah, this is a pretty small bird. Or maybe a horse. So they have the two calls. The one is the whinny, which sounds kind of like a horse, and the other is the tremolo, that almost clicking one. Did you guess it? Second smallest owl in Western New York. It's the eastern screech owl. So yeah, that's the eastern screech owl. So there's three of the owls that we have in Western New York. If you're from Western New York, I know I get listeners from all over the world, but if you listen from Western New York, those are the three main owls that we have around here. We've got other owls too. Interesting creatures. You're going to hear that if you're out at nighttime. So get outside and listen for some of the birds too. Now here's a real familiar sound. I've heard it in movies. I've heard it on TV shows. I hear it in the wild all the time. And unfortunately, Hollywood loves this sound, but they always stick it with the wrong animal. that loud scream. Now, I don't know how many times I've heard that in a movie and they show an eagle, or if I play that sound, people say, oh, it's an eagle. Nope, not quite. Eagles make more of the sound like a chicken. Yeah, that's what they sound like, is more like a chicken. So, who is this guy that's making that loud scream? That's actually, you got it, the red-tailed hawk. Yeah, the red-tailed hawk makes that scream, not an eagle. Okay, let's get away from the birds for a little while. This guy's pretty interesting. Usually hear it at nighttime. Have you heard that before? At night? A lot of people think it's crickets. It's not. It's this really neat looking green, bright green bug. Good size, probably a couple inches long. Unless you have babies around. Yeah, the young ones are much smaller, but I've seen adult ones that are probably about 1.5 inches, close to 2 inches sometimes. So a good size insect. Any ideas? That is the katydid. Yeah, the katydid is the one who makes that noise. Okay, let's try this one here. Another familiar summertime sound. I always love hearing these guys in the summer because it tells me that, hey, summer's here. Sometimes it gets so deafening. Yeah, I've been to some places where there's so many of them, and they actually live under the ground, and then they come up once every year sometimes every 3 years, sometimes every 7 years. There's different subspecies of them. And yes, it is an insect. I'll let you know that. No, it's not the katydid. It's the cicada. Yeah, weird looking alien-like insect. But that is the cicada. If you have been in an area after a big eruption of them, where a lot of them come out of the ground, it is deafening in the woods. Yeah, so that's the cicada. Okay, I've got one more for you here because we're running out of time. So we've got one more, another bird I love to listen to. This one's a bird. Give you that much of a hint. Okay, wait a minute here. I told you it was a bird. I heard several birds there. Didn't you? I think I heard a cardinal at one point. I think I heard a blue jay. I think I heard a catbird in there too. I heard a lot of different birds in there. What do you think? Want me to play it again? Okay, take a wild guess. What do you think it is? Well, I'll give you a hint. This guy is almost mocking all the other birds, mimicking them. Yeah, this is a mockingbird. Yeah, very interesting bird. I once was out and I was listening to the birds and I heard what I thought was one bird and I found out that, oh, no, it isn't them. That's actually a mockingbird. Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed our little trivia day today, this trivia episode. I like to throw these in every once in a while just to give you a little bit of trivia fun, see how much you know about the different animals out there. So I hope you enjoyed listening today. Be certain to share the podcast with your nature-loving friends so that they too can learn more about the natural world around them. Maybe use this to kind of quiz them, test them on their knowledge of animal calls. If you'd like to support the podcast, visit the show notes for a link to my Ko-Fi page. I really appreciate it. One of the biggest things you do to support us would be to get your friends listening too. Yeah, you can also support the podcast by purchasing awesome items at my online merch store. The link is in the show notes. And if you like to journal your wanderings through nature, be certain to purchase a Nature Wanderer Nature Journal. As I said, all the links are in the show notes. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Stop back next week for another episode of the Nature Wanderer podcast. Have a good one and keep exploring the nature around you. Hello, friends. I hope you're out wandering through nature, exploring the natural world around you. Do you enjoy writing about your wanderings? Nature journaling is an awesome, fun way to remember all the adventures you have taken and how you felt during those journeys. If you're looking for some beautiful journals to keep track of all your wanderings, I have several available on Amazon, including some guided journals for children. Start your journey in journaling by clicking on the link in the show notes. Keep exploring the nature around you and keep journaling all your wanderings.